Have you ever heard of the phantom buck, the specter of the forest that's eluded hunters for years? In the heart of a tranquil, serene forest, a sanctuary for many a hunter, our story unfolds. Our protagonist, a seasoned hunter, is no stranger to these woods. He's heard the whispers, the tales of the phantom buck, yet it's a creature he's never crossed paths with. Until now. A rustle in the undergrowth, a shadow cast by something massive and grand. He spots it, a buck of such enormity and splendor it seems to shimmer and dance in the dappled sunlight. This wasn't just any buck, it was larger than any he'd seen before, majestic and almost ethereal. Intrigued and drawn by the allure of the unknown, he makes a decision, a choice that would forever change his life. He decides to track this elusive phantom of the forest. Little did he know, this was no ordinary hunt. The hunter, entranced by the phantom buck, ventured deeper into the forest than he'd ever been. Under the gnarled branches and through the rustling underbrush, he tracked the elusive creature. The buck was always just beyond his grasp, its spectral figure glinting tantalizingly between the trees. As he delved further into the heart of the woods, the hunter noticed a shift. The once vibrant forest life fell into an uneasy silence. Only the crunch of his boots and the distant call of the phantom buck broke the hush. The air around him grew colder, the breath from his lips turning into tiny wisps of fog. The forest, once teeming with the familiar sounds of nature, now echoed with an eerie quietude. The trees seemed to close in around him, their shadows deepening, their forms contorting into grotesque silhouettes. The once playful breeze now whispered unsettling tales into his ears, sending shivers down his spine. Yet the hunter pressed on, his eyes fixed on the fleeting image of the phantom buck. His heart pounded in his chest, a steady drum echoing his mounting fear and anticipation. But amidst his fascination, a sense of unease gnawed at him. He couldn't quite put his finger on it, but something felt off. The forest, the buck, the quiet, the cold. It all started to feel less like a hunt and more like a trap. But as he pressed on, he couldn't shake off the feeling that something was very wrong. The deeper he went, the more the forest seemed to change. Our hunter, a seasoned veteran of these woods, felt a chill of uncertainty creep up his spine. The familiar landscape had morphed into an eerie, unrecognizable wilderness. The trees, once proud and straight, now appeared twisted and contorted like gnarled hands reaching out from the earth. The shadows too seemed to grow darker, swallowing the light and casting an otherworldly gloom. His heart pounded in his chest as he pursued the spectral buck. But as the forest grew denser, the elusive creature seemed to vanish, swallowed up by the inky blackness of the woods. His eyes darted frantically, straining to catch a glimpse of the phantom buck. But it was as if the creature had evaporated into thin air. In his desperate search, he stumbled upon a sight that made his blood run cold. Nestled deep within the woods, shrouded in the forest shadow, lay an old, forgotten graveyard. The headstones, worn by time and weather, bore no names. This was a place that time had forgotten, a place that held secrets buried deep within its silent graves. A sense of dread washed over him. The phantom buck, the twisted woods, the forgotten graveyard, they all seemed to form a haunting puzzle. He had been led not to his prey, but to a place forgotten by time. As he stood in the graveyard, the truth of the phantom buck was revealed. It was a moment of chilling revelation as the hunter's gaze fell upon a tombstone etched with the image of a buck. But what truly made his blood freeze in his veins was the name carved beneath it, his own.